Welcome, everyone. We're having a fun conversation today about Botox and fillers and implants. So if you've ever wondered, what are the pros and cons of these? Are you a good candidate to get these? Or are there any health impacts that you should think about? We're going to break all that down so that you don't have to. We did all the research. We'll lay it out for you so your brain can rest. But yeah, this will be a fun topic because I think that all of these things are definitely growing in popularity lately.
Yeah. And what's so crazy, I think, is we've gotten so good at all of this that it's really hard to tell when people have had work done, as opposed to in the 80s and 90s, something usually tipped you off that they had Botox, like too much Botox, or
Yes.
their implants were huge, or they got in a facelift and their face didn't match their neck. That's always a big tell. But I feel like we've gotten so good at it. And I think what made me think about this is I've noticed on social media, one, everyone's using filters all the time. So we don't actually know what people look like in real life. But two, because plastic surgery has gotten so natural looking and filler and Botox, we don't realize that tons of people have this. And so if you ever find yourself sometimes I'm like, man, I'm just ugly. And then I'm like, oh, but I don't have Botox or any plastic surgery done. I have gotten filler before, which I'll talk about. But yeah, I think it's distorting our view of what everyone really looks like.
Yeah, I think it's the filters that make us look all nice and the soft blur.
Yeah, I was filming TikToks one day and I thought, man, my skin looks really good. And then I realized it had auto turned on the skin filter. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh man, I don't even really look like that.
I
It was
think
so
Instagram has an
disappointing.
auto, Zoom has an auto slight blur filter. Yeah. And yeah. And to be clear, Katie and I are we're non-judgmental about this. I would totally get some of this stuff.
Oh
We're
yeah.
open to it. But we think that, it's kind of is this because we're used to filters? Is this just because we want to do it? I do think it's interesting to think about why we all want to do these things.
Yeah. And also from a physical standpoint, there are some people that are probably more likely to react badly to these things, or it
Yeah.
could cause health issues for them. And so we also want to get that information out there because I think not everyone thinks about that.
Yeah.
Some people it's right for, some people it's not. And there are also alternatives we're going to talk about too.
Yeah, for sure. I work with mostly female patients, and so a lot of people I work with have had some of these things done, and I think people would be surprised about the health impacts that these can have. So let's kind of jump into, we'll start with Botox. So
Yeah.
if you've ever heard to not give your infant honey, it's because it can be contaminated with the Clostridium botulinum bacteria. And so Botox, we're injecting the toxin that bacteria produces. So not the bacteria itself, but that actual toxin is a paralyzing agent. So
Yeah.
that's how the toxin works. That's why it can kill you, is it would paralyze you. And so it's temporarily paralyzing and going into the muscle layer. So we're stopping the muscles from moving. And by doing that, we're reducing a lot of wrinkles and people get that smoother appearance, and we can use it to lift features in the face. And so because this is a toxin, it can actually cause autoimmune reactions. I think most people don't know that. I think they don't think about that.
Yeah, no, I doubt it because that's not what your nurse injector is going to tell you.
Yeah.
Which maybe some really good ones do, but they're not all telling you hey, this could happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I think honestly, as someone with chronic illness, so any kind of chronic infection like Lyme, any kind of condition where your immune system's going to be really upregulated, like mold toxicity or any autoimmune condition, I personally would think twice about getting Botox because we're actually coming to find that most autoimmune conditions are a reaction to infections. And so
Mm.
your body sees this protein, this toxin that's, this scary bacteria that your body's scared of. And it's we've got to launch this big immune attack to fight this off. And so if it's in there for a while, even if it did dissolve really quickly, immune reactions can last for a really long time and stay for a couple months. So what I've seen a couple months after someone gets Botox, or even honestly the same week, people start getting more joint pain and muscle pain. They get headaches, they get more fatigue, they get irritability. Some people get like neuropathy, like they actually, like the Botox is actually affecting their face nerves.
Ooh.
Yeah. And so you can't like feel like your cheeks very well and stuff. And then myasthenia gravis is a condition where you're basically it's like paralysis due to an immune reaction to a toxin like this. And some people actually do get full blown like myasthenia like symptoms, just like they did. You can get that from certain vaccines too. So you can get
That
a
would
full body
be
shutdown.
that would be so scary. If someone's having like not that severe of a reaction, once the Botox is like out of their system, does it go away?
So like this is the weird part about autoimmunity is once the initial trigger is gone, sometimes it goes away, sometimes it persists, and you have to do extra stuff to get it to go away. But yes, theoretically it could go away.
Okay, so you could get this from Botox. What about different fillers? There's all different kinds of fillers based on like where you're getting it put in your face.
Yeah, I don't know as much about fillers, but most of them nowadays are hyaluronic acid, which is a natural compound that we already have in our skin. And so if your body tags it as a foreign substance that's not supposed to be there, you could still have a reaction to it, I would think. But I think because it's like an actual natural substance, we're way less likely to have an immune reaction to it.
That makes sense. Okay. I know the big thing, probably over the last 5 years, I've been seeing everyone getting their breast implants taken out
Yeah.
because they've got breast implant illness or they think that they do. What is, can you explain a little bit about what that is and how someone might need to think about getting their implants taken out?
Yeah. I have seen probably 25 people in the last like 2 years that have breast implant illness. So it's like really common. And it's so sad because it's like not just a light procedure to get implants. So it
No.
sucks. So yeah. And then explant surgery is like you also have to set aside time to recover from that too. And so, with the breast implant illness, you're putting silicone, whether you choose silicone implants or saline, they're still in a silicone shell. So you're putting a foreign substance in your body and your immune system is constantly surveying everything and it's saying like what is self and what is not self. So it's attacking the silicone because it's not self. So it's a foreign invader in the body. So we can have low grade immune activation from that. But even if you're not super prone to like immune activation like that, it still acts as a biofilm surface. So all the natural little bacteria and fungus that everyone has circulating through their body, we all have a little bit of parasites, like that kind of stuff. It aggregates and like grows. And like the implant becomes like a colony reservoir and like a sink for like all the mold toxins, all the mycotoxins to gather in and like colonize. So it becomes this. I've seen the gnarliest pictures of some people who got theirs out and they're
I've
just
seen
disgusting.
some scary pictures of them
Yeah.
get taken out, but not everyone ends up with this. So how come some people get implants and they're like, no, I'm good. I feel great.
Yeah. I feel like if you're more prone to immune activation, like if you have that autoimmune kind of tendency, or if you're living in mold or you had a high infectious load you didn't know about. Like it's usually the people that like had a little bit of Lyme and didn't know, or living
Okay.
in mold and didn't know, had an autoimmune condition or didn't know, and then they're going to have the immune response.
Yeah. Then they know.
Then they know. So like for me with having all of those things, implants would be a no. For me, like a non-option. But we do have alternatives nowadays that can be a lot safer options for people, like fat transfer, because it's
Okay.
your own fat. So like that one I haven't seen people react to. And fat transfer has come a long way. So some people, when they get their explant surgery, they will get fat transferred to the area so they don't have like as much change in their skin.
Mhm. So they don't have deflated boobs.
Yeah. Although again, like to your point about plastic surgery being so good nowadays, like that's like not even an issue anymore. I feel like
No, you can
they're
just get a
so
lift.
good. Yeah.
You can just lift what's there.
Yeah. Yeah. But even like, yeah. Yeah. I feel like if you do have implants and you've been thinking about getting them out, it's not as bad as you think it would be. And it doesn't even look bad afterward because the surgeons are so good.
Yeah. I remember in college, I always said when I'm like in my 20s, I'm gonna get a boob job because I'm super flat chested.
I
And
literally
then,
remember you saying that. I'm also very flat chested.
oh yeah,
I
and
remember us joking about that.
yes, and I was so serious. I fully planned on it. And then I started seeing all this breast implant illness stuff coming out, and like I had never really had any surgeries, don't take any medication, so I had no idea like how I might react. But then I actually right before I turned 21, I don't know if you remember, I went to Chicago and I got appendicitis and had to have my appendix taken out.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think
I don't
we
remember
might not have been
that.
living in the same room in
Yeah.
Kappa Delta then, but so I had to do that. And like, I was so sensitive to all the medications that they gave me. And then when I had my C-section,
Mhm.
oh my God, I couldn't take any pain meds except for 800 milligram ibuprofen because it made me feel so like sick and just so crazy. And then
I'm the same
like,
way.
we don't need all the information, but like my spinal lasted so much longer than it should have. And I could not pee on my own for a very long time.
Yeah.
And so, like, now that I know that, I'm like, no, no way am I putting some foreign object in my body. It will go poorly for me.
That's the scary part too with an implant. Like it's in there to last. It's meant to last at least 10 years. Like that's such a
Hmm.
long time.
Yeah, and also you spend so much money, and then it's like, great, now I just wasted money and I have to get these taken out because I'm sick.
Yeah. Honestly, that would be emotionally devastating. I personally like to help people with like everything we can possibly try. And then we know it's the implants if it doesn't shift. It's like, okay, let's try everything else we can possibly think of. And then like that's the last resort is like, let's consider explant surgery.
Yeah. What are some alternatives for people that don't want to get Botox or filler, but still want to look youthful and have nice skin and
Yeah. All the natural stuff that everyone always talks about actually matters, like minerals and staying hydrated and making sure that your lymph can move and that you're getting good circulation because your blood nourishes your tissues. So, like, all that stuff about hydration and eating well and like movement is definitely real. And then there are alternatives to Botox, like the one I know about because my friend has a cream that has it. It's called DDBD. I'm going to try to pronounce this dipeptide diaminobutyryl benzolamide diacetate. So
what?
that's a nice big one. But it's a synthetic peptide, so protein of snake venom. So they like found this thing in snake venom and then they made a synthetic version of it for skincare. And it acts like Botox and it keeps the tissue from moving, but it doesn't penetrate super deep into the muscles. It's like a surface level thing.
So you put this on and it kind of paralyzes your face?
It's just like Botox, but like I think it's less strong.
Okay.
It's like a weak, mild Botox, and it doesn't go into your muscle. So you're way less likely to have an autoimmune reaction to it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Weird.
I know. My friend swears by it. She loves it. She has an eye cream that has it in it.
Gosh. Does she have eye wrinkles?
No, but she always had really good skin. So I can't make any judgments on the efficacy of this.
I'm like, I need like a video of someone putting this on
Yeah.
and they're like trying to squint or something.
Yes.
And then I need,
Yeah, well, it works.
yeah.
Yes. I would love that.
One thing that I've seen, have you seen frownies?
Yes. I know adhesives would kill my skin, so I could never. But have you
Right.
ever thought about trying them?
I thought about it, but I think it would bother me too much. Like, so I got some mouth tape and I tried that for like a week. And every night after about 3 hours, I took it off. I just didn't like it on my lips. My mouth tape also had a hole in it. And so I was still just like having the driest mouth because my mouth was slightly open and I was just sucking in air through the mouth tape. So
Oh gosh.
I don't think I could stand having it like all over my forehead. And I watched a video of a girl putting it on. And I mean, it's like plaster. Like it is not
Like
flexible.
like a paper mache kind of like
Yeah. And like
Yeah.
that was really surprising to me. And now I'm like, why would that be surprising? It's supposed to keep you from making facial expressions. So
True.
of course it has to be that way, but I don't think I could sleep like that.
Honestly, even if I could sleep like that, like, it already bothers me the amount of time it takes for me to just wash my face, and I don't even wear makeup and brush my teeth and get in bed. So, like,
Yeah.
I don't think I could do that.
You have to like cut them in different shapes. I don't
Nope,
know.
that's a no. But, okay, the lack of facial expression leads to an interesting point, which is, like, are we so much of our human experience and our felt emotions and connections with people come from their facial expressions.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, like, did you notice when people first started getting Botox? And I would be like, why do they look so deadpan and depressed and monotone?
They
Like,
had
it
like
bothered
frozen
me.
face.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
I know they can do like more gentle Botox, but still, like, I noticed that like people don't raise their eyebrows when they're like surprised anymore. And like, I almost love watching movies where the actors have real full facial expressions because like I can connect with that more.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you would, I'm looking at myself because we're filming and I'm like, look at this forehead. Look at those wrinkles. But I mean, yeah, I guess instead of moving your forehead, your eyes would just have to be like,
Just make them really wide.
yeah, but then your forehead's not moving. And if you're watching this, I look crazy. But I mean, yeah, it definitely changes your face. And then there was some study done on what that was doing to little kids that were learning
Yeah.
to pick up on nonverbal cues.
Yeah.
And I think it's fine as long as your face isn't like totally frozen. But yeah, you don't have as much expression in your face if you start doing stuff like that.
Yeah. And I do wonder, like, you know, there's research out there about how, for example, our fingertips are super rich with nerves. And so using our hands and touching things actually helps keep our brain active. Kind of like how using our ears and hearing things keeps our brain active. And
Yeah.
people, you actually like, you know, deteriorate brain wise if you need hearing aids and you don't get them. And so, like, it just makes me wonder if there's anything like that happening with that afferent, like, so sending up from your periphery where like your face is where it would be moving to your brain instead of just thinking of like your brain is controlling your facial expressions and sending signals down. It makes me wonder
Mhm.
like what that's doing to our brain to like not have that input.
Yeah.
I don't
That's a
know.
good point. Yeah, I don't know. Filler is another really popular thing, and that wouldn't really change your expressions.
That's true. Yeah.
I don't know if there are really any alternatives for filler.
You know, fat transfer.
Yeah, fat transfer.
Yeah, for some stuff. I know you can do it like under the eyes, but yeah, I mean, besides getting plastic surgery where you have permanent implants, I
Mhm.
don't know of any either. I haven't looked into this, but have you heard about those threads? I know because I watched Bachelor in Paradise and One Year Everyone had them and they were talking about them. But like
Yep.
they are supposed to like gently like be like a gentle facelift and then just dissolve, I think.
Yeah. Yeah,
That,
I looked into like all of the different filler, Botox, everything. I'll talk about getting my chin filler. So it's totally dissolved now. This was 4 years ago. But I've never liked my jawline very much. And I have like a weak chin, I guess.
me
I
too,
don't know.
girl. Have a weak
It
chin.
just doesn't come out very far. And I wanted basically like profile balancing. And so I think I got a whole syringe of filler in my chin. Let me tell you, it
You
was
feel
fairly
great?
so one, I loved how it looked. I thought it didn't make a huge difference, but enough of a difference that I really liked it. The main thing is it's expensive and I would need to get it done like every probably once a year would be enough. It's expensive. Also, I almost passed out. So when they do
Oh
chin
no.
filler, they have to literally touch your chin bone with the needle. And so I could hear the needle scratching
Oh
on
my
my
God,
chin
that
bone.
feels like an infection risk. That's crazy.
It just like really sent me. I started like turning white and yeah, it was fine.
Oh,
It was very sore after and I had to ice it. But and they
ouch.
gave me some like arnica cream to put on it to help with bruising, but like after like 3 days I was fine. So
Doesn't sound like a fun experience
it
to
was
get
more intense.
repeatedly.
It was more
Yeah.
intense than I thought. But yeah, when I was looking through that, I saw the threads and I watched videos of people getting it done. All they do is like numb you. And then
Yeah.
they're like in there with like a hollow needle, putting those threads in and pulling your face up. And I was like,
Wow.
whoa, like I think I would pass out.
I would
Uh,
need full anesthesia.
yeah, no, you're just awake. Like people that get this done, I'm like, okay, you're like really paying a price to look pretty.
Yeah, very
I shouldn't even say
motivated.
look pretty, to have a more balanced face. But I have thought about, I would love a little filler. I don't know where, but like they just, if you get a good person, they can just do facial balancing for you. And like,
Yeah.
I'm all for it. I just have to decide when I want to spend money on that. And I also now know that there's a good chance that I will get close to passing out. So just prep for that.
You know, one thing that's made me wonder about the filler is maybe it doesn't do this as much anymore, but the migration. Like you like see and like poor Jennifer Aniston, everyone was using her face as an example on like these
Mhm.
esthetician sites. And like she looks amazing. I love her. But like she did have obvious signs of like migrated filler and it had like created lines and stuff. And like how do you know that that's not going to happen? Like I know everyone's like, "Oh, you need a good injector," but everyone's face would be different a little, you know?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you don't know. And I know lots of people have been getting like their lips dissolved and then starting over. But
Yeah.
apparently that is really, really painful to get, especially lip filler dissolved. I don't know what that would look like. Like if you had like cheek filler and chin filler, I don't know what that would look like. So I
Yeah.
think you've got to be careful when you start putting filler all over your face. Like
Yeah.
just in my chin, like that was
Well,
fine.
and gravity would only pull that down, which is like there's nowhere to
Sure,
go.
yeah.
So, yeah.
But I would be nervous about like cheek filler migrating. I've heard a lot about people saying like don't get under eye filler anymore for dark circles, do something different because apparently that can migrate pretty bad and
I've
make you look
seen,
worse.
well, I've seen the horror stories too of that with the filler can migrate and block your blood vessels. So it blocks the blood flow to your eye and you can literally like lose your vision and stuff.
Yeah. So with all this stuff, you have to be careful. I guess let's maybe go into like the mental health kind of part
Yeah.
of this. Even as a therapist, I totally get wanting to look better. I have nothing against filler, Botox, whatever. I'll probably at least go get Botox before too long
And then you can
because
report back. You can tell us what happens.
yeah, right? 'Cause I don't really have any of those risk factors that we've talked about. I got filler before I had no issues. So I think I would be okay. And also, it does wear off and filler dissolves and all of that. But I think the biggest thing is that technology has made it so easy to distort how we look online.
Yeah.
People edit photos big time, which isn't it's not a bad thing. Do whatever you want to your own photos, but it does after a while send this message that like this is what we all really look like. But then if you see someone in person, you can see all of their imperfections, which again are not bad things. So I think just the media and like we said before, people don't look like they've had work done anymore, but they have. So that sends a message to people that they also maybe need to get that done.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's just a different world than it was when like we were kids. People got work done and it usually didn't look very good or it was really obvious. And I think
Yeah.
if you're going to get anything done and you're getting it done for yourself because you like it and it makes you happy and maybe it's like fun for you and it's not a financial strain, you have the money to do it and it doesn't make you anxious about finances, then go ahead. Like you can do whatever you want. But if you're getting it done because you think it will make you happy and you won't be depressed anymore, and you're doing it for someone else or because you want other people to find you attractive or you want more affirmation from people online, that's not going to fix what's going on. Those are like deeper issues, and getting the work done isn't going to fix that. It may help temporarily, but all that stuff behind it is still going to be there. And so I think there's nothing wrong with it if you're doing it for like, quote, the right reason.
Yeah. I feel like that makes a lot of sense. I've actually, you know, just because I work with a lot of women, there's been a couple women that were like, you know, I actually regret getting these implants because the outcome I thought I was going to have, I didn't get. So
Yeah.
it's like, I think being really clear on what your outcome is before you go into it and making sure that, like you said, like you're not doing it for a reason that's not like a foundational core reason. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Like if I were to go get chin filler again and some Botox, it would be because I want to do it.
Because
And
you'd feel better. Like you'd feel
yeah, it
good.
would be
Like,
a little
yeah.
confidence boost. And I'd be like, hell yeah, I like this. I look good. But I wouldn't do it for anybody else. I wouldn't do it because I was sad and I wanted it to fix my problems and make me happy because that's not going to work. So it just depends on why you're doing it.
Yeah. I think that makes a lot of sense. And I think for me, like a consideration, obviously besides the health stuff, would be if it's something that I want to like improve. So like if I wanted to work on my dark eye circles, then if I was going to put an under eye cream on every day anyway, then would it make sense to get filler or some fat transfer or something there that would accomplish the same goal in a way that would like lower the mental load that we're always talking about? Like, would it be like, less of a thing for me to have to think about spending that time in the morning and getting that product and like, or for some people, especially if you're nervous about procedures, I could see getting the actual procedure done, putting you more in fight or flight. And it would be better
Mhm.
to just put the eye cream on every day. So like that's
Yeah.
a personal thing too. Yeah. Like what helps someone's nervous system.
Yeah. And there are also lots of like less invasive things that you can do. Like I got my eyebrows microbladed a few years ago.
Right.
Like the best thing I ever did because have really thin, like just sparse brows. And I was like, I don't like these. And I have to fill them in again. Now I need to get them redone. But when I got them done at first, I was like, damn, this is great. I don't have to like, do
Wow.
my
Your
brows
brows do
every
look
day.
amazing.
So like, I'm going to do that again whenever I
Yeah.
get around to it. And so, like, things like that really improved my life. I didn't have to do my brows every day. Not that I
Yeah.
had to, but I like to have them done. So,
And microblading is another interesting one. I remember when it got really popular because the school I was working at, all the ladies in the office got their brows done. And so that was like that was like 2014 is when it started getting really popular. And I know some people who got it at that time when it was newer and they have scarring. So it actually like made them lose some of their natural eyebrow hairs. Like
yeah.
yeah, which I didn't even know. I hadn't even thought about that. But
I think
yeah,
back when it started, it was like way more similar to a real tattoo, like that you would
deeper
get on your
cuts.
arms. And now it's like a really shallow, really tiny needle. And so all of mine were like actual like hair like strokes.
Yeah.
And it has almost totally faded. There's like a shadow of where it was, but because your skin cells turn over so fast on your face,
Yeah.
if they do it right, it should fade away after like
Yeah.
a year to 2 years. And so but I will tell you what, it hurt really bad. My pain tolerance on my face must not be very high because it really hurt. They numb your eyebrows with cream, but it was actually really painful.
Oh, wow.
And some people are like, no, it didn't hurt at all. For whatever reason, my eyes were watering, like I looked like I was crying, and I was like I could totally stand it. It wasn't that bad, but I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is a little more intense than I thought it was gonna be.
That's like when you pluck your eyebrows for the first time and you start like crying involuntarily because that
Yeah.
reflex with your eyes.
Yes. I still,
Ouch.
if I pluck my eyebrows, still get tears.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. No, it can be intense. Well, I never thought about that one. I would probably do microblading. I'm just a little like, I don't want to do anything that would scar something or mess something up later. The one thing I've done that I regret doing is my good friend got me she sent me this eyelash cream in the mail just as like a random like present because like she got some from work and it was supposed to be an all natural, just nutrients thing. It was Grande Lash and it
Oh
had,
yeah.
but they lied. Like they actually just got like, they just lost like this lawsuit because they actually used a hidden prostaglandin analog in it. So it was just like whatever that one is called. What is it called? That like was making everyone lose all the fat around their eyes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like I've seen that on TikTok where women showed their before and after pictures and they just used it for a month or two and it completely dissolved all the fat and left them with like skeleton looking eyes. I do think I had some fat loss. I just used the one tube because I would never buy that for myself. So I just used the one. And even that one, I think, like I noticed my eyes looked different afterwards. So I was pretty
Like,
mad about that.
that's a huge company too.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was crazy.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's so
So
bad.
Yeah, just goes to show you can't always trust, even if you know what you're looking for, the company can lie and say they don't have that in there, which is wild.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Anyways, anything else on filler before we move to our new segment of the week?
I think that I just want people to know that honestly filler is probably more benign, but like there is the risk of blocking blood vessels and stuff. But like I just want people to realize that like this can cause symptoms in the rest of your body. Like I don't think people associate Botox in your face with pain in your back, but like it's a
Yeah.
systemic reaction. Like it's a whole body reaction. I think everyone should just watch for patterns. Like if you get Botox and you decide to try it, like just monitor, like, are you getting more headaches? Are you more sleepy? Because that's probably a sign that you shouldn't get it again. So
Yeah.
that's all I have to share.
Yeah. I think my big takeaway is like really think about why you're doing it. And if you're doing something like that to fix all your problems, it's not. I'm sorry. You've got to do the inner work on that.
Says the therapist. She's
Yeah.
giving it to you real.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, let's share. We have a new trend that we're gonna do. I'm pretty excited. We're gonna add this in.
Yeah. So every week we're going to do a like health wellness trend audit of the week based on something we find online. So Rachel actually last night sent me this video and it's like one of those like, we're millennials, blah, 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 blah. We're millennials, blah, 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 blah. And
Yeah.
this was all mostly mental health related. And I had seen it before, but like I actually found it really funny.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I was dying laughing. Yeah.
yeah. So basically, the main things on it were we're millennials. Everyone's a narcissist except for us. We diagnose everyone with at least two mental health disorders. We talk about our feelings to death because we're better than you. We're breaking the cycle because we're talking about breaking the cycle.
That
And then
was
my favorite
funny.
one was everything that's ever happened to us is our parents' fault. So as millennials who grew up when mental health was like really becoming popular, like people talking about therapy probably started when we were like in college, just
Yeah.
out of college.
Literally like very end of college, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought this was hilarious because I think a lot of us feel this way.
Oh yeah, I was laughing so hard because like in the screenshots, someone had shared that their therapist actually offered like, EMDR, IFS, different things you can do. And then millennial therapy was an actual type of therapy that they offered. And I was like, oh my God, I feel like, is this targeting just millennials?
Oh my gosh. It's like they're a special breed, so we need specialized
Yes.
therapy to
Yes.
deal with them.
Oh my gosh. So
I will
funny.
say, so we grew up in a very interesting time because technology like took off when we were growing up. We went from dial-up internet to having computers in our hands by the time we got to high school.
Yeah.
And then it just only up from there. So it's an interesting time. But we also somehow grew up just at the right time where once we graduated from college and we started wanting to get jobs and buy houses, we couldn't afford anything, couldn't afford to live. So
Yeah.
there's like all these jokes about like millennials, like not having kids yet, still living in an apartment, not making any money. And like, I don't know. We kind of really got like
We
shit end of the stick a
I
little
think
bit.
we're all low key traumatized because like we've lived through like Y2K, 9/11, the 2008 recession, and then all this, other crazy stuff, and then COVID, and then everything is happening now. And like, I think that we just kept thinking there was going to be a break. And like, I remember that college was fed to our generation as like, this is the thing. Like, if you go to college, then
Oh,
you'll
yeah.
get the best job and you'll be able to live the life you want and get a house and all this stuff. And literally, as we were graduating college, was the down surge of like, hey, there's no more jobs anymore. And actually, you don't need a college degree for anything anymore because
Mhm.
everyone has a college degree. So it's the new high school degree. And actually, the people who went into the trades like plumbing are like making all the money. So I
Yeah.
feel like that like pulled the foundation under and like we're like, wait, what? And then from there, it just went downhill.
Oh my God, such a lie. I had the hardest time finding a decent paying job when I graduated.
Girl, I was like, if I wanted to go into journalism, I was expected to take a job for journalism for like $20,000 a year in North Dakota if I wanted to work on a paper. I was like,
No.
absolutely not. Like, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
My degree's in marketing and look at where I am. So we got fed that lie.
Yeah.
And then, things that I have seen with, I have a lot of clients that are millennials just because I'm a millennial. So we relate. But like the blaming your parents for everything, I don't know where we learned that, but that is so real. And like, yeah, sometimes if you grew up in a really dysfunctional household, yeah, it is your parents' fault, but not everything is your parents' fault. And there's some personal responsibility you have to take for what actions you've taken. And like, just because your parents like quote messed you up doesn't mean you get to walk around like, oh, poor me, I'm a victim, everything is happening to me. You don't get that pass. Sorry. I'm nicer to my clients than this. But
No,
yeah,
I
you
hear
don't get a
you.
pass for that. And then everyone diagnosing everyone.
Okay,
That
that kills me. The ADHD, like, that has really taken off online. Everyone is convinced they have ADHD. Yeah.
everyone is ADHD. Everyone is also autistic.
Yep.
And everyone is anxious or has an anxiety disorder. And so I'm always telling my clients, like, okay, there is a difference between having some ADHD tendencies and actually having ADHD.
Yeah.
Like, do I have some ADHD tendencies? Yeah, like one or two, but I don't have ADHD.
And go back and listen to our ADHD episode on this if you're curious if you
Yes.
actually have ADHD or if you have tendencies, because you might be surprised about how our modern life actually induces ADHD.
Yes. And also, not everyone is a narcissist. That also kills me. I'm like, do I have an ego? Yeah. Am I self centered sometimes? Yes. But I'm not a narcissist.
I do see the narcissist a lot coming from our generation for sure.
Yeah. And like, confidence does not equal narcissism. Now, there are real narcissists out there. I have worked
Oh,
with
yeah.
clients that like their partner is clearly narcissistic, but we started pathologizing everything, and like
Yeah.
not everything needs a diagnosis.
Yeah. Fair enough. And at the end of the day, we are millennials. So we love all you millennials and we feel it. We feel you.
Yeah, we do. And all the millennials are just better than the rest of you. Sorry. No, not really. But I feel like the millennial generation, if you like meet another millennial, you're like, yeah, you get it.
It's like, yeah, you automatically have some amount of something in common because of it's the trauma bonding.
Yeah. Us and the boomers, man, the boomers are bonded for life.
I love that. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. We definitely had some fun today talking about all of this stuff. This was a good one.
Yeah. If you've got a health trend you'd like us to audit, comment on this video and we will totally do that. That would be fun.
Love it. All right. Well, bye everyone. We'll see you next time.
All right. Catch you next week.